Denmark against Netherlands. Denmark 85%. Netherlands 15%.
Over here, you know, like I said, exactly the composition I called out. The Ramatra rush with that May Reaper and the Moira to be as fast as possible, and Denmark are actually going to mirror it.
Yeah, the mirror is not really what I was expecting here. Maybe instead of the Reaper, we would see a Hanzo come out of Shaxx, but definitely knew that the Mei would be a part of it. However, the backline as well, the Moira Lucio lost.
Dude, why my headset's turning off and then turning back on for no reason?
Too much other than health to this squad.
But I do kind of like this though, because Shaxx is kind of known for his Tracer, and Reaper plays kind of similarly to Tracer, where you kind of go for that like pounce, that lurk around a corner, pounce on a target play style. It's not quite.
I think it's because I threw it so many times, or I
there is some overlap there. And Naga has also at times been a phenomenal Mei, so this is still playing to Denmark's strengths here.
Naga using the ice block early as the fight starts onto the objective. However, Dawn getting very low, forcing out the Nemesis, and is still getting that health shredded, going to use the wall to save off some of that pressure, and it's just hot contention from both sides. Doge a lot healthier than the Netherlands squad thus far, though. Tap getting low as well, but Dawn actually getting the first pick onto Naga after peeking around that Mei wall. Already a coalescence from Slay, however. Denmark having an ult advantage, and Buddy still charging up the coalescence. There's also a blizzard that was thrown out by Tap, and Netherlands, they do secure the point, but maybe a little bit overkill.
God damn, bro. The ults were flying out, and the point hasn't even fucking unlocked yet.
Yeah, like, that's the only ult that the Netherlands expend, but when you build an ult like that fast, yeah, you throw that down, you win the fight, and you go from there. And now Netherlands have everything else they could possibly want. Naga has to play catch-up here.
Yeah, I mean, Tap also needing to build up the Blizzard once again, but Netherlands have this coalescence, and they're just using it to force them back into the hallway. And Beat actually comes down from ANJ, but not before A10 goes down to Shaxx. Shaxx on the other side is building up to the death
the win. Netherlands is showing up, though.
From Doge will be able to force the Netherlands back, and using
Chat, they're not showing up though, bro. They're about to lose
back towards their own spawn side. The Nemesis form from Dawn absorbs a little bit more of that damage from Denmark, but still, Shaxx having this Reaper Death Blossom that A10 already used to take down Telex, Shaxx is going to use to take down Dawn, and they still have a coalescence now from Denmark. Slay once again building up that ultimate so quickly. Shaxx doing a lot of work with the secondary Death Blossom, and Buddy going to go for the reset once again.
That was such good timing from Shaxx there. There was no more cooldowns that could have saved anybody. Sans the shield from Dawn, but it wasn't enough. He ends up falling, and that is Denmark flipping the point, maintaining control. You can feel the way these two teams are playing, that Denmark knows exactly how much pressure they're under. They're trying to be correct. They invest so much in that fight. They don't have anything. Buddy has a coalescence, and Tap nearly has another blizzard.
Yeah, the blizzard from Tap is going to be huge.
Let's see what he does here, chat.
They're waiting for some of the cooldowns to come out
Wait, did
as
he...
the ice blocks come through, but Doge just punches Tap out, and even though a lot of Denmark are frozen,
Wait, did he just use his ult?
find one a second from A10, and Calyx trades it out. But for Denmark's side, they only have the supports and the tank up. Doge needs to take as much space as possible, so goes ahead and uses the Nemesis form. It's very close for the annihilation on Netherlands, though, and they could potentially use this to stave Dove off of the point. However, Denmark's DPSs are now regrouping. Tap coming in from the Netherlands side to take down Doge, and without their tank, they are going to have to back off and let that point flip over. But up to 70% is already a very good start.
Yeah, that's pretty good. If they didn't have 70%, I think they might have tried to go for a play where they use Calyx's beat, go in for a little bit more stagger, but at 70%, you're safe to just go in with this Mac truck of ultimates that you're about to have. Shaxx and Naga
Isn't that the thing where people just like...
their ult soon. They're gonna open
Bro, I haven't heard of World Star since my high school 10 years ago. Wasn't that the thing where people say World Star and then fucking fight?
They still have that beat that they could use, but Denmark has one of their own, and now Dawn using the annihilation to finally try and take down Denmark, but it's the beat from Calyx dropping so much overhealth, and also the blizzard as well. However, Naga goes down, can't capitalize off the blizzard, but the rest of Denmark's squad is just falling apart as the Netherlands regroups on this side. Shaxx is going to come in with the Death Blossom, take down ANJ, but still looking for that tank. Dawn still up as the coalescence does come through from Buddy, getting so much healing down. So A10, however, down very low, wraithing off.
Yo, Netherlands just needs to win one more fight, chat. Netherlands needs to win one more fight.
As Netherlands in one fight territory.
Tap is building these blizzards up so fast, but he's dying every single time he goes to cast it, so he's never able to be the one to capitalize on it, and that time, it cost the Netherlands dearly. Denmark was able to weather the storm, they flip it back, they're going to have the
what a fucking wall, but hey, they're helping.
Here. The wall to section him off. A10 has to try and go in with this Death Blossom here.
Yeah, that Death Blossom is huge. Calyx goes down, and so does Slay. Both of the supports from Denmark's side just fall, and Taps is able to take down Shax, and that's 1 DPS down as that Death Blossom is building
Netherlands
as well.
is showing up.
Potentially save them and flip that point. Naga has no choice except to contest for this overtime, and Doge goes down so quickly. Calyx comes in as quickly as possible, but the rest of Denmark's squad, they are struggling to contest this point. Calyx is getting very low health as well, and it's the Death Blossom from Shax that could potentially save it all, but it is all for naught with the Coalescence to come through. The health is too oppressive, and Netherlands taking first capture.
The pressure that Denmark needs, that they're under right now, they have to be feeling it. They are already behind the 8-ball. I mean, 99 to 99, that was close,
dude.
right? We look at the
Holy
scorelines of these teams,
what
and we
a
expect
fucking
Denmark to come
game,
out
dude.
clean, just stomp all over the Netherlands and walk away with this one, but they're not doing that, even though they dearly need to. They can't let the Netherlands win another point here. If they take Lijiang's tower,
18% on Netherlands?
Denmark are done. And then it doesn't even really matter what happens with Spain and Portugal. It doesn't really matter what happens with France and Great Britain later on tonight. Denmark have to be the masters of their own destiny right now, and they're going to bank everything they have right now on Shax on the Symmetra, Naga once again on that Mei. They're going to try and bunker down on the point like we've seen so often, but the Netherlands are mirroring it again, so who's going to get first control and set the pace here? Both teams TP right on top of each other.
Yeah, but they are still contesting for that point. Dawn able to, that is a huge fire charge from Dawn to take down Shax, and they can't really set up shop without the Symmetra. Naga is going to get a little bit of value here off the Icicles, but other than that, the Netherlands, they just have every card in their hand. They are on the point. They take that first capture as it unlocks, and they are on pace for good ultimate charge as well, especially A10 here.
And every time we see this composition, I say it, this comp is great at holding the point, not so great at taking it. So Denmark are going to have an uphill battle against the clock to try and flip it back. Dawn nearly falls, but the Immortality's there to save him. Doge going to fall.
No way.
The charge from Dawn and the wall to section them off is just so strong, and the fire strike as well. Calyx going down. They have missing that little bit of extra sustain.
God.
And,
oh my
Dawn is just going crazy, going all the way in, and there's support there as well from the back line, and there's just nothing to be said. Dawn is on fire and already has a shatter ready.
Denmark are just crumbling. They have to pick up the pieces before the shatter comes out. They only realistically have an amp matrix right now to try and make something happen. They still have time.
Oh my God!
That was a huge shatter, and Doge can't save off the pressure at all. Tried to charge Dawn, instead got tapped, and even though there's that pick
we actually might see, dude, if Denmark loses, chat, they're not making it to fucking BlizzCon, bro. They need to win so they can make it to top 16.
So good. They are holding
have a chance at least.
With only a singular ultimate expended.
Bro!
Yeah, one fight, and look at everything else the Netherlands has. They have
the Netherlands came out fucking packing. Swinging, there you go. That word, swinging, chat. That's swinging.
And Denmark have to win it. If they aren't efficient and if they don't win this fight, it might just be over. They won't have another shot at this.
Oh, and now the amp matrix from Doge. The fire strike does take down A&J, and that's a sound barrier off the board as well. Calyx, however, doesn't have the sound barrier of their own, and A&J can get back to point very quickly, especially with the teleport. But now Doge trying to head in with the shatter. It's the blizzard from Denmark, and Naga should be able to freeze much, but there's a lot of so much sustain with the speed from A&J, and also the blizzard from top side as well. Doge unable to use the shatter.
I think they're losing this fight.
90%. They have to find some way to contest, and it's going to be with the Symmetra ultimate that they're trying to dance in and out of. Ice blocks now for Naga, going to heal up a little bit, but just going to get shredded. Calyx also just in a battle with the Symmetra, but the shatter gets everyone, but he can't get in! He can't touch! Oh my God, the wall from Tap! It just sections off Doge.
Look, because Denmark, even though they have Shockwave in, they are not playing any sort of hit scan. Looks like neither is past. Are we going to see more swaps?
What? Okay. Torbjorn?
Torbjorn was not what I was expecting to come out here in such a situation for the Netherlands, but this is also an interesting pick because you can play down the turret.
Actually, Torb is really good against Tracer, Sombra chat.
Sombra
Tracer, Torb's really strong.
Pulse pistol shots. It's not foolproof, especially on the attack, but it is definitely a strategy to be employed here, so there's at least a little bit of logic behind this swap. Regardless, though, Denmark have already given up a lot of space to the Netherlands here.
Yeah, they're backing up quite a bit. Slade does neutralize that turret for the time, and it seems that Shockwave is really trying to get something onto that back line, but Tapple with that magnetic nade is going to repel the Sombra away, and now Denmark...
That's actually really good. That dwarf turret actually is really good, because if they go to point now, they're going to get shot by that dwarf. That's a really good... Yeah. As soon as you get that
in the middle
space...
of that second tick, but once again, they're backing
Sir Biscuit, appreciate the massive 1 year.
For some kind of touch there to stop them, but it's just
They
the
just
ticks
give up.
Yeah, it was
over
easy.
and over.
They
They
just
just
easy.
giving it up. This was like a total... They just gave it up.
C9,
They kept
C9,
like pushing and pulling and backing up and
C9,
coming in, and they
C9.
gave up a tick every time they did it. Sure, Molfig is
And
going
they
to
won
clean
the
up right
fight.
now and make,
They
can
won the
maybe get a
fight,
spawn
but they
camp here,
C9'd.
But they've already given the Netherlands a win condition.
Yeah, they just gifted them that point. It was tied up with a bow, and it was given on a silver platter at this point. But now, looking for the spawn camp potential, especially with Shax and Shockwave, a lot of that mobility here, looking for that back line. Shockwave's just kind of hanging around, waiting for the back line to peek its head, looking for a support.
Might go for tap here. When the EMP comes out, people are going to start feeling quite rate limited. There's one for Don right there who's going to fall. But they lose Shax, and Shockwave is going to be forced to translocate out. Denmark, I mean, their hold is already looking a little bit shaky. A lot of that
4
backline
ults
pressure
for Denmark,
just then,
bro. 4 ults, but also Netherlands is about to have 5.
They'll be back fast, so the window will close quickly, but the Netherlands, I mean, they have a way forward here.
Yeah, the Netherlands already having the payload out, especially with 4 minutes left over. Even though it doesn't seem like a lot, it is a huge time bank. The rally from Kellex will save him from certain
That's not
death,
a C9 technically, and I hate how Jay3 knows, but he doesn't care. There was 4 or 5 people alive, and the Diva was alive, but didn't touch point. Not a C9? Ah, okay.
Though. Denmark, if they even lose a player, it's going to be really tough to keep this spawn hold.
Yeah, I mean, unless that player is Shax, because like I said, he does come back quite quickly, and he came back and made quite the impression with that pulse bomb to finish off Don there, who gets antied by Slay. Don is just under a lot of pressure, and as the tank, he has to be the one to try and make the space, try and make it safe for his team to, you know, come on out of their little hidey hole. The beat from A&J might be enough to push them out.
Yeah, the EMP as well from Shockwave to try and just stave them off. It works out.
Not a C9. They gave up the point knowingly because they knew they were under too much pressure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They gave up the point because then 2 seconds later after they gave up the point, they nano the Diva. The nano Diva killed absolutely everyone, and that's why they're able to spawn camp right now. Damn. Wait, maybe you guys are spitting.
I mean, like... It was a huge rampage that came out from Don there, but there was no one that really could access the high ground with him there to follow up on it, so everyone just stays safe up there, specifically Kellex and Slay, and once the anti-heal wears off, yeah, they're good, and they can just bring everybody back up to full strength. Denmark haven't been dislodged from the spawn hold thus far.
They're gonna put down that turret on the low ground.
Oh, they're eating it all.
Ooh, them from dropping down, and there's a molten core as well. Lots of zoning, lots of area control, but it's all on the low ground. And right now, Netherlands is trying to fight for the access to the high. Now, Shax looking at Buddy once again, just trying to harass this backline out, and they don't have the Brigitte anywhere nearby. Patzer comes in and tries to help them, but it's the stick onto Pastor, taking out both the turret and the Torb, and that is a good fight from Denmark. Investing 2 ultimates, but the EMP so close by.
That's such a great play from Shax. He's not your buddy friend. He just goes ahead, takes down the Ana, the stick onto the Torb, takes him down, and the turret, and the Netherlands are still stuck here. And yet, we're under 2 minutes, and the Netherlands haven't gotten a whole lot for their money. They have an EMP of their own now, does tap, but, I mean, they're going to have to use this just to break free of this oppressive spawn hole that Denmark have bled like 3 minutes off the clock with.
Shockwave with a big EMP here onto a lot of players. Molfig finds Don, and now without a tank, Netherlands do have to back off a little bit more. Tap has an EMP of his own, though, and he's really fishing for that high ground play. Has a translocator in place.
Team Hong Kong made it to BlizzCon. Yo, W, I'm gonna watch your games probably on Monday.
Get rid of these supports, but
I can't stay up that late to watch those games, sadly.
It's been really tough to get that Ana out of this game. Another dive from Don. No follow-up from the rest of the squad. They're none of them really able to get onto the high ground tap on a flank, and looking like you might try to isolate Kellex.
No nano came through. It's going to come out now onto A&J, but Don, forced to use the primal by himself, finds Shax. And, I mean, a hack there does help seal out the deal. Like, yeah, Netherlands, they're still not in this. Here comes the EMP. Denmark are still holding, though. They found the DMAC onto Molfig. That's huge.
Yeah, Kellic still with the rally for a second longer, though, and it allows them to be a little bit tankier, get that sustain, and Dawn now looking for a big flank or dive onto Kellic, and does. It's successful this time, and Slay is still up, but ANJ is just trying to harass Shaxx away from that backline. There's the self-destruct from Molfig, looking for that little bit of, oh, okay, finds Tap. Actually, Tap, how does he die? But Molfig, finding that DPS, can get a little bit of pressure off. Still, only 10 seconds left over for a full capture all the way to point B.
I mean, and if you're Denmark, mission accomplished. You've whittled what was a seemingly
Last
insurmountable
fight,
time bank
bro.
down to literally
Fight.
like nothing. We're in OT now, and you're going to have spawn advantage the whole times. OT
Crow,
spawns might
that's
mean
a
that
prime
the
side, my
Netherlands can
friend.
snowball this, but they have to be perfect here. They only really, realistically, have the Molten Core for Pastor to win this fight. Shockwave has an EMP.
No way. Shockwave dying with the EMP is actually big right there.
Such a good nade
Holy
onto Shockwave,
shit.
and now that EMP can't be used, Shockwave should be able to get back quickly, but it gives an opening for the rest of the Netherlands squad to dive onto this backline once again. Shaxx still looking for the harass, though, but no
That's
one
actually
is
really bad,
that
because not
payload,
only can they
making
not
sure
use
that they have
EMP, but they're
someone
letting
staying on
Netherlands
in
build
the
their
overtime,
ults,
make
but
sure
that's
that they
bad
don't
too.
C9 this time around, but
Dan
Dawn goes
dying.
down, shredding out that tank. The Molten Core does happen on the payload, so they do have to back off for a second longer. A little bit of that area control, allowing them to push further forward, faster, staying on top of the payload, and the rally now going to come through for ANJ, but Molfig comes in from behind the big shield. Kellex does fall to the Molten Core, but Pastor still needs some way to sustain
What?
it.
Shaxx?
And it's a stick from
Shaxx has
Such a
been
huge pulse bomb, a
insane,
huge
bro.
play to whittle down 4 minutes from Denmark into 0.
So that fight win for Denmark was inevitable because Shockwave was holding onto that EMP. As soon as he had the chance to use it, that would have been done. But because Buddy finds that nade onto him early on, like, Netherlands kind of snowball the cart almost all the way to the end checkpoint. It's not a lot, but it's still holdable. And again, I can't stress this enough. Denmark, like, they just gave point A up for free, essentially. And the spawn hold was phenomenal, bled that time bank down to essentially nothing. That's why, you know, that's about as far as Netherlands were able to get, but that still feels like a lot more than they should have. When you look at where we were when the overtime wick started burning, for it to be all the way towards the end there, I think that's something. I think that's something. Netherlands still have a shot to just completely lock Denmark out 100% from playoffs here. Has Denmark done enough to set themselves up for success? I think maybe, but there's still always the potential of a full hold here. The Torbjorn is going to be a lot more oppressive on the defensive side, and you can see Denmark, like Shaxx, at least right now,
I like how they're running Torbjorn all the time.
Tracer might swap over to it.
Gotta run Torbjorn until they fix
the
Torbjorn. They're nerfing his turret, chat.
Ever-present threat that he's gonna have to worry about. That's gonna pepper him. Like, you know, 5 shots from the turret, if you're not looking at it, might be enough to just take a Tracer down. So you always have to be wary of where it's placed. Make sure all your entrance routes are locked down. You're checking your corners, making sure you're not about to just get bursted down. Shaxx looking to go over to the Reaper, actually.
Damn, I like that.
Full composition
To go see what they're holding.
Back to the dive.
Yep. And Netherlands, on the other hand, though, Tap switching over onto the Echo is really interesting as well, trying to get that high ground control, which they previously weren't able to do on the defense, and they're going to have ANJ in the pocket as well, Buddy having to now switch over to the Kiriko without that little bit of extra appeal that they had with the Brigitte.
Yeah, I mean, with the Torb turret and Kiriko's general survivability, Buddy should be okay, but is still going to be the primary target. Actually, they're going to go for Pastor. The hack combo there almost comes through, but Pastor's able to survive.
Dynamic.
Dawn taking a lot
Dynamics?
of damage,
Appreciate the massive prime sub, my friend.
Dishes out so much DPS that it's so difficult to escape from this, and that's a really good nade. Pastor actually doesn't get hit by the Suzu, but they're able to cleanse it off of Buddy at the very least. Now looking for the high ground control as they take this point A.
They're doing a great job of taking down Pastor's turrets, and also, oh, hello.
Oh, okay.
Also, almost of taking down Pastor several times. Shaxx, though, low HP, gonna try and play from that hacked Mega. Pastor has been able to weather the storm so far.
I don't know, chat, man. I love Torb turret.
On his back, but so does Kellex.
I love Torb Turret, man. I wonder how much does Torb Turret do per shot? 17? I think it's 17 damage.
Without Kelix, the back line is left undefended. The Nano goes out at the last second onto Molfig to give them that survivability and sustain through this fight, keep positioning up front. But the duplication from Tap is just so powerful. There's the self-destruct, and Molfig goes out. A little bit of a cheeky wave from Tap as well to see him out the door.
I mean, I'm looking right now at
Shockwave's
Shockwave's or sorry, at Shockwave's EMP, but also Shax's Pulse Bomb. Either of those, if Shax hits another big Pulse Bomb, can break this defense. Shockwave's EMP could also just bust the door wide open, but I mean, if the Netherlands are able to weather the storm, we only got 2 minutes here. Denmark, they're not going to have another realistically good fight at this. This is their best shot right now.
Netherlands.
When firing, the Torb Turret deals 14 damage per
from Shockwave,
second.
and he just has to go translocate right out after using it. That is just no value found from the EMP, even though it hits so many of them.
Just flushed right down the loo, because, I mean, that was, yeah, you cannot use that ult there. You lose Slay so early, there's all of your burst healing, everything gone, and now they don't have that ultimate. They have 90 seconds to maybe build up to another one. They have to win this entirely based off of just Shax's Pulse Bomb here, and the Netherlands have nearly a full arsenal of ults. Tap can even build up to this duplicate lickety-split if the damage boost from ANJ comes through.
Yeah, just spy checking for Shockwave as well, making sure that they can't get on top of the backline. Shax has been good with the Pulse Bomb before. Shockwave with a hack onto Pastor, but there's the peel there from ANJ, and now the Valkyrie as well. The Rampage onto Kelix. Kelix goes down, and so does Slay. A stick onto Don, but still the healing from the Valkyrie. It's still there. There's so much sustain, and still a Kitsune Rush in the bank as well. Shockwave falling to Pastor, and now a fight in this room. Kelix stands to go down next to Molfig. They're forcing out the rally. The rally used now just to keep them in the fight as the rest of the team is trying to regroup with them.
Wait,
but now they don't have the rally for the next one. While the Kitsune Rush is still available,
seconds?
they still have one ultimate
Holy
on Netherlands.
shit.
Yeah, Denmark are in dire straits right now. That armor that Kelix and all that overhealth that the rally comes through with, it's all going to burn away by the time the fight kicks off properly. They only have the self-destruct.
So what is that? 14 damage every 0.25 seconds is what? 28 every half second? So what, 56 every second, chat? 56 damage every 1 second?
Comes out, the
That's crazy.
They smell blood and they're going in like sharks in the water.
Oh, and the Molten Core as well. It's just so much area control.
That is a lot of
so
damage.
hard to get onto this point. Looking at how much fire is on the floor. The floor is literally lava. Now Tap duplicating the self-destruct, and there still is a contention from Molfig just standing on top of the corner, making sure to avoid that little bit of damage from the Molten Core. The self-destruct.
No fucking
AJ
way.
gets killed by the remake, but they need some way to touch once again. Molfig get on that point and does. The defense matrix will save off a little bit of pressure, but now out of the mech, the baby diva on the point. Shax comes through, but Buddy takes down Shax with the kunai. Now Kelix has to be the one to get something done for Denmark, and the rest of the squad is still coming in. Slay gets switched onto the Moira, but there is nothing that Denmark can do.